Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Opex. Today I have a video for you about frugality. To be frugal means essentially that you're not living beyond your needs, you're living to your needs and not excessive, right? So a frugal person, such as me, let's say, I don't go out and buy the new iPhone just because it came out, because my iPhone before works. Just how it works to be frugal. Essentially, you don't even need a phone. So if you really want to be frugal about it, you don't even need a phone. But the point is that I'm getting at is that to be frugal is a virtue. And I'm going to get into the reasons why. Let's dive into how many seeds make a plant. My mom just asked me how many seeds make a plant. Oh my God, she's smarter than that. Alright, I should redo it, but we're already here. Anyways, so what I want to say is that in nature itself has to be frugal. See, to not be frugal is not natural. Now, okay, let's dive into it, shall we? Let's dive into it. Nature. Let's talk about phenomena. Plasma. Let's talk about lightning. So lightning, when it comes down, it doesn't take the straight path, right? Which you would think it would, because you would think it would be easier. But how physics maps it out for the bolt of plasma means, or what it entails, is that it has to be the easiest path, not the fastest or the closest path between two dots, right? Which would be a straight line. We can all argue. So why don't lightning bolts go straight down? Well, the reason why it doesn't is because it takes the path of least resistance. And if you were to go straight down, to ionize all of those particles would be more work, and in fact, it may even prevent it from even occurring. See, when a lightning bolt comes down and it does that, like roots. Think of roots or branches or your veins or tons of different things. It's the same pattern. That is the pattern for what is the most frugal and easiest path. See, if a plant was just to go up, right, there's less resistance to other plants. But plants want to expand and go out. I mean, look at a tree. It doesn't just go straight up. It branches out. The reason why it branches out is to get enough sunlight, right? So that Christmas tree type style is pretty ideal for a tree to get as much sunlight, as much airflow as possible, and to have a top that reaches the sunlight. So that Christmas tree style, or let's say, not even just Christmas trees, let's say cannabis. Cannabis grows like that. Or corn grows like that, where it's one straight up. You have the main stalk, the main stem that goes to the heavens, and then it branches out. The reason it branches out is to have easier access and less work on that plant, less food requirements, an easier life, right? So frugality, essentially in nature, makes it easier. Let's go back to the lightning bolt. Lightning has that same pattern because it has to ionize those particles in order to get from A to B, right? So as you see like a lightning bolt, I wish I could just draw this for you or something, but this is a philosophy channel, I'm just going to speak it. But when a lightning bolt goes like this and then stops, it's because that couldn't be ionized at the same frequency or the same ease as the other ones, right? So that's why it branches out. It's trying to find a way down. The reason it does this is because of physics and because of frugality. See, if it didn't matter about conserving energy, it would just straight line, doesn't matter which particles get ionized, and it would be a straight line every time, right? But it doesn't do that, does it? It's because it's taking the path of least resistance, even though it's more work, it looks visually like more work, it's less work. See, See, if a plant was growing up like this, right, just sideways, right, it would be battling all the other plants and weeds and trees and all the other shit next to it, which is going to restrict it from ever being abundant or being the highest level of that canopy to get enough sunlight, enough airflow, less pests, less overwatering, etc. Right? So what happens is plants grow up and then it branches out, up and branches out, not branches out and then go up. Right? We manipulate plants to do that. That's why you see, like, if you see a cannabis plant, you might see it not being in that Christmas tree style because of human intervention, which slows down the processes. Yeah, you can essentially get more yield out of it if you're going for the flowers. You can get more flowers out of it, but you're harming the plant in order to redirect the hormones and redirect the growth. So if you see physics taking the path of least resistance, right? Like if a rock's falling to the ground, they're not trying to get out of the way. They have to let it happen, whether it's conscious or not. So a rock just falls from the sky and hits the ground. Well, it has to do that. Least resistance down. It's not making weird paths unless there's turbulence in the air, or unless there's wind of some sort that brushes it and moves it. Because without that, you're only stuck with gravity. And when you're stuck with gravity, you're only going against the other particles in the air, which would mean, like, if a rock's coming down, there's air here, and that air has to be pushed out of the way, because if there was air there, it would stop. Like, if the air didn't move, it would just stop. And the rock would be right there floating in air. But that can't happen, right? And that's not how we know things to happen. So it has to hit the ground. What goes up must come down, right? It's the laws of physics. And it's the easiest laws to understand that frugality is in control. In fact, anything outside of that frugal mode takes more work and effort. But it's easy for us as humans because we're intelligent, right? Once we understand how physics work, we can redirect the plants, right? Or everything comes under our manipulation and control. Frugality. I have been frugal my whole life. I don't need a huge house. I need a house. In fact, I don't even need a house. I need a room, essentially, right? You need a room to protect you from environmental factors. And essentially, that's all you need. But we strive to not be frugal. And in fact, we like to be of this world. Before I dive down that, I know I like my brain sporadic and stuff. I want to go back down to the animal kingdom. Let's go with wolves. Wolves, they hunt in packs. It's a lot easier. It's frugal. Not every single one of them is exerting their max effort to take down the prey. They are all intelligently trying to figure out how to get the prey down as simply and easy and less effort, less energy as possible. So that is the law of nature, to be frugal in every situation. Wolves will not just fucking attack you, right? If there's two big brown bears, yeah, they might attack each other for tons of different reasons, whether that's territorial, whether that's for female sex. Whatever that may be, that can happen. However, for the most part, one big bear, let's say 1,200-pound bear and a 1,200-pound bear, they're not going to fight each other. There's too much risk. Unless the reward outweighed that risk. Like, if you're never getting pussy, you're going to take that risk, right? But if you are already taking or getting pussy and you want to keep it, you're also probably going to take that risk because you enjoy your current lifestyle and you will fight to protect it. Normal stuff. That's still under the realm of frugality. But where it differentiates is if there is no higher reward. There is no betterment outside of frugality. See, because if those two bears were to fight each other and there was no reward, what you're going to take tons of damage. You're going to be very weak and susceptible. And another bear that comes around that size could easily destroy you then. Right? They're going to sense that you're weak, that you're injured, etc. And bears, obviously, if you ever seen a swipe of a bear, just one swipe can take down a fucking 2,000-pound moose. Think I'm kidding? Google it. So, they want to be frugal. Nature itself is frugal. Physics is frugal. They are taking the path of least resistance every single time. And you can put this into any category. Trout going upstream. Oh, but it takes so much work. Until you realize the fish aren't swimming. They're being swum. I think that's not the word. Swum? Is that even a word? I doubt that's a word. Anyways. They are being swum. They're not swimming. When a bird flaps to get to a certain point, and then they're just gliding, they get to that point because it doesn't use enough, all their energy. Because if you just use your energy just for worthless, no reward situations, you're going to be fucked. Right? Now let's go to humans, because I can dive into animal kingdom all day long. I can go to different plasmas and how the earth goes around the sun and just takes the least resistance. I can go around that all day long. This is what you need to know. Humanity, your responsibility. Now we live in a world, a society that's monetary. We are slaves under the, I want to call it indoctrination, but we're like born into a world that money rules everything around us. And we all have a price. So if there is a point to be frugal, it's now more than ever. Because we are taking more than ever. We are more, okay, for example, let's just say you're in your apartment. My apartment's up there. And you have your bill for your gas and electric. And that bill, let's say you set your thermostat at 70 degrees, right? That's gravy because it's always going to be up.
Hot alert.
It's always going to be up to temperature where you feel comfortable. But you don't need to feel comfortable. In fact, if it's 60 degrees in your apartment, you're not going to die. You can just throw on something, right? You would save money by not striving for comfort. You need to get out of your comfort zone in order to become frugal. To understand what's really important in life. See, when you're on your deathbed, you're rewinding your life and what you did right, what you did wrong. Are you going to be thinking about your degree that you went to university for? No, that's not going to matter. You're going to be thinking about your relationships, your family, the people that did matter, or the people that should have mattered. That's what you're going to be thinking of. And what you did in those relationships, how you screwed up those relationships. Don't wait till you're on your deathbed to figure out that it was unnecessary. And you're egotistical, and you need to remove that ego in order to be enlightened, frugal, happy. You're going to have to get rid of that ego. Anyways, so what I'm trying to get at here is the new iPhone comes out, yet you already have an iPhone. You don't need this new thing. So let's say you want to spend another $1,000 on this new thing that absolutely didn't help you at all. There's no reward for it. And you bought the same thing. So now $1,000, you need to work to make up that $1,000 to get back to where you were. Now, in a frugal mind would entail that I'm going to achieve in a realm of success all of those things that I need. And those things that I don't need, I'm not going to put energy into. And those things that others need, you can then be a part of that. But you can't be a part of that, or at least you cannot help that other individual if you yourself are dealing with a lot of problems. Fix yourself before trying to fix others. That's why I say you should be the light of the world. You should be the example of the world. See, if I'm frugal and I have all the food and all the things I need, and I'm happy, and I'm not striving to get a third home or a yacht or whatever, right? I'm not doing those things because I don't need those things, and I don't have to give up time and energy to achieve something I don't need or even want. And the reason why you want those things is because you are of the world. You are of this materialistic, mindless, consumeristic world where you believe that once I have this house, I'll be happy. Once I have this car, I will be happy. Once I have the up-to-date computer and phone and, I have the cool clothes and I have enough clothes where every day of the week I can have a really cool shirt that cost me whatever. See, what you're doing here is you're going to put yourself in a never-ending system in which does not reward your prosperity. See, if you're trying to be prosperous, you must be frugal. And I know that sounds difficult. Because if you're not striving for abundance, how are you going to get abundance? Well, if you're not going to take more than you need, you're going to have extra. Where did you get that? For example, my last video was 2 videos ago. Last video, when I'm talking about food is the currency of life, go check out that video. I entail that I had last year 40 tomatoes a day that I was harvesting. And a lot of those days I got up to 40 tomatoes a day. Of course, I'm not eating all of those tomatoes, right? So am I getting abundance? Yes. Am I trying for abundance? Somewhat. But whatever's left over, you can freeze, you can give out to your friends, family, community, you can barter with your community, family, friends, or whoever. And you can have abundance and share that abundance, and everyone's up. Now, if you are not frugal, you're going to hoard. Just like we're living in this modern slavery day where we're all subject to taxation, property taxes. Essentially, you're born into debt. Now, how are you going to be prosperous in debt? You can't be. You can't be prosperous in debt because you owe people. You owe others. You're behind. I mean, watch my video. I don't remember what I called it. Why I'm against credit. Stop building your credit, you moron. You wasting your life away to stay in debt. Doesn't make sense. Boom. And when I put logic to your retardism, I got a credit card and I'm $10,000 in debt. Should have been frugal instead of trying to buy things you don't need with money you don't have. Low IQ moron. That's why this channel exists, is to wake you up out of your slumber. Because how you think life is not how life is. You aren't meant to be at a job your whole day, 8 hours plus a day, while your home that you're paying for is empty all day long. So you have to be at work all day long to pay for something you're not in all day long. Do you understand what I'm getting at here? You're working for something that is never going to reward you your due, what you're worth. Because the government takes half of what you get, and everything you purchase is another 10% of what you get. And then you got to pay property taxes and etc. beyond that. Let alone anything that goes down, like, let's say you need to fix your gutters or whatever. Oil changes and all these random things. There's never going to be a time where you're up. Because even if you were up, you're going to hoard what you have. You're not going to share it with anyone. So are you truly abundant? See, if you are abundant, let's say with food, which is proper abundance, the real currency of nature, of the world, of life itself, the currency of life is food. It's not money. You got to brainwash that person to accept that money because money is worthless. It's an IOU on a piece of paper. And what did I just talk about with credit? It's kind of dumb to pay with something you don't have. That's an IOU. It's just retarded. And then that IOU's taxed 50 to 80%. Every dollar in watch my video, taxation is theft. Every dollar in circulation is taxed upwards in more of 700%. That means each dollar that goes into our circulation right now is taxed 7 times the amount of what that was worth originally. Plus inflation and everything else. Like, we can go on all day of why you hoarding money isn't helping you or anyone. Anyways, let's dive into this. See, if you were going to be frugal, you're not going to be needing excess of money, which means or requires more time and labor. And if you're going to put in more than you need, first off, I'm going to put it like this. A garden is not something you need to work on every single day. I have cannabis plants. I have tomatoes and trees, apple trees and cherry trees I'm starting. And I got tons of stuff. I haven't started my watermelons or anything else, but I got California Wonder Peppers. I got cayenne peppers. I got yellow onions. I got tons of shit, right? And the price of all of this food is almost free. But if I was to go to a store, it would be essentially the same amount of money, right? But at your store, it's full of glyphosate. Anything that's organic is going to be 5 times the price of what it should be, at least 5 times the price of what it should be. So what you're doing here is you're relying on others, paying way too much for something you could have just done yourself, and it's very minimal labor. Having a garden is very minimal labor. I spend about 1 to 2 hours a week on my garden. And I have thousands of seeds. Thousands, guys. Less than 2 hours a week. So if I'm spending the same amount of money, now that I'm keeping my seed, I mean, all my tomatoes and broccoli from I saved all my seed. I put them in jars in my refrigerator. So I saved my seeds. They all germinated. So I know how to do this, right? And now I don't have to pay anything for food. I got chickens that I can slaughter at any time. I'm getting more chickens actually in a couple days. More hens. I get eggs every day. I get fruits and vegetables. Why do I need to spend money at a supermarket designed to poison me? Why am I doing that? See, if you were frugal, you would be working directly to your needs. But they have taken your soul right out of it. Now they want you working for money on the premise of reliance on others for those things we need. But if I work now, I'm going to get all those things I need with money. Okay. You're going to rely on other people for money. When you're living in a world right now that they are excited to shut down your business. They're excited to depopulate the world. These people that you're relying on, I'll put that Henry Kissinger quote back up on there. If you control food, you control people. Wow. Now, what if you are responsible? You're going to be more frugal. You're not going to just throw away your tomatoes. And in fact, there's this guy that I've been following for a long time. I haven't seen him in years. Maybe YouTube shadow banned him or something. But there's this guy that lives without money. And I believe it's in maybe the UK or something. This guy lives without money. No money. This guy's extremely happy. Guy goes, if you were responsible for your own water, you probably wouldn't shit in it. Think about that for a second. If you had to go, let's say these tribes in Africa that go down to the river 6 miles away to put buckets in the river, extract this water, walk another 6 miles back to town, and then you have to give that water to other villagers for free, you're probably not just going to shit in that water. That would be stupid, right? But this is the mentality we're living in today. We are shitting in our toilets. water's just going to go away. And you'll just pay that water bill. Not really frugal. You're using much more resources than you need, which is requiring those people you rely on to poison your water supply more, let alone your food supply. They're trying to kill you. They don't want you here. But if you are frugal, A, they're not going to be able to manipulate you anymore because, hey, we got new technology and you're going to be spending money on this, right? No, I'm not dumb. Sorry, guys. When I see... Okay, well, let me explain this. And I know you guys get this part, but I'm going to explain it anyways. I have a buddy of mine that just bought a bed. He bought a mattress, the frame, the box spring, and it all came to $3,700 before tax. $3,700 before tax. On a bed. And I thought to myself, and I had to tell him, I said, hey man, me and you are so disconnected, I cannot even talk to you about this. If you were to go out and buy a bed for $200, I would step in and say to you, hey man, that same thing that you're buying right there, I can get you that for $50. That same fucking thing that does the same fucking thing. You're gonna sleep on it, guys. Oh, and this is how people get brainwashed. Well, you're gonna be spending a third of your life on it. Might as well buy it big. So he spent $3,700. He's in credit card debt. And I explained to him, I said, hey, if you were to go out and you told me that you were about to buy this $200 mattress, I would have really been like, hey man, you don't have to spend $200 on that. That's ridiculous. Because you're just going to be sleeping on it. I mean, what else are you going to do with it? What are you doing with it? Are you bringing it on vacation with it? What are you doing with it? I don't get it. But it's such a far disconnection with frugality. Because now you're in debt for something you didn't need because you had a bed before. That worked totally fine. I see these people that spend all this money on a mattress. And let me give you my... Well, I'm going to give you the whole spectrum as quickly and easy as possible. A month ago or so, maybe even longer, I don't remember when this was, I had my brother over. And my brother's a drunk. I told him, don't drink. You're not drinking at my house. He hides the beer behind my shower curtain because he's hanging out with us. We're watching the fights or whatever we're doing. But he told me I'm not drinking. But he went next door to this gas station, got some beer, lots of beer, and every few minutes he would walk away and he would chug some beers and come back acting like we don't notice what's going on. Anyways, long story short, my brother was drunk, hammered, blackout drunk. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me put you in my bed and have you pass out and sleep. Mind you, I have a $100 bed, total bed, and it was a really nice queen, in my opinion. Brand new, I bought it for $100. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to last me forever, this bed, because I bought it maybe close to a year ago. It was going to be my forever bed. My brother pissed in my bed.
Pop alert.
He unleashed his bladder during his drunken pass out when I was trying to get him to sober up in my bed. And there goes my bed. I need a new bed now. Just so happens to be a good family member of mine. My stepdad's sister's husband, brother-in-law, had a bed or a set of queens and twins and stuff like that it was insurance money. His house got burnt down by a fire. Mostly burnt down. He lost all his shit. He had insurance claim, etc., which purchased these beds for him. They're essentially $2,700 beds. Mind you, still fucking expensive, but it was free for them. And the beds that they bought did not fit the frames that they bought, or they had, or whatever. So they're giving away these mattresses to people that wanted them or needed them. And I said, I want one. I ended up getting a twin. which is a smaller bed this way than a queen. But my bed was much taller, like very tall. Like I feel like I'm fucking at least twice as high as I was before on my queen. Now that I have a $2,700 bed, $2,500 or $2,600 more than my previous bed, because of that, I thought I'm gonna have great night sleeps. You know, like this, it's very comfortable. I have not had a perfect night of sleep since, and I damn near fall off the bed every night since I've gotten this new bed. $2,700 bed. I'd rather have my $100 bed. I enjoyed my $100 bed. I did all my ab exercises on that bed, and I tried to, you know, I go ham with my ab exercises. If you guys ever want to see some of my workout routines, that will be coming soon. Maybe not soon, but at some point. I just need somebody to film me because of many reasons. I don't want to just put it. My workouts are crazy. You're going to have to follow me around. Anyways. My bed now, my workouts are terrible. I don't have the full workout that I used to or full range of motion that I used to. My sleep isn't nearly as good. And this bed is supposed to be, hold on, 2,700% better. Because you would pay 2,700% more than the bed I had. For what? For what? For lower quality? Less sleep? Less comfortability because you turning and shit? I hate this bed almost. I mean, I'm going to live with it for the rest of my life. It's probably going to be my forever bed, or at least a guest room forever bed. It's always going to be with me, bed. Because that would be dick to take a bed from someone. I mean, he didn't pay it. It was out of insurance money. But it'd be dick of me to just sell it or something, right? It'd be dick of me. I'll just have it forever. But that's the reason I'm getting it, to be frugal. Look, I have jeans. I was wearing a pair of jeans the other day. And I rarely ever wear jeans. And I wore a pair of jeans that I wore in high school. Why do I still have a pair of jeans from 20-something years ago? Or from 20 years ago? I don't need to get rid of it. Look, I stopped growing when I was 14. I was 5'10" at the age of 14. I'm now 34. Still 5'10". Those jeans still fit me. And as long as I take care of it, I'll always have it. My grandmother is 91 years old. And she has a microwave she has had since the early 80s. She just changes the motor every 8-10 years or something. Changes the motor. Always works. Always works. You don't have to upgrade it. It still works. Guys, it's the same fucking thing. Oh, it's an eyesore now because it's old. Or I need something new because I deserve it. That's a beta male thought. That I deserve something. Or I'm a victim of something. That's beta male shit. If you were responsible, you'd probably be more frugal on your spendages. You won't go somewhere out of the... For example, there's the type of person that goes, okay, from A to B to where I am now to work, let's say. I can go 5,000 different routes. Why do you pick the fastest one? Why do you pick the fastest route? Because you don't want to waste time around traffic or waste your energy. But why do you do that or make it a lifestyle with everything else? See, you're quick to jump around traffic or if there's an open lane just to save you 5 or 6 seconds on your day. To save you 5 seconds causes stress that you don't need. It's showing that you are not responsible in your life because you are making whatever strive you can to make it easier on you or make it faster. This is the problem. This is why people take pills. Instead of the doctors telling you to... Oh, nice. I've been waiting for this for a while. This is my Bruce Banner seeds, my Gorilla Glue seeds, and my, oh, there's one more. Oh, there's another one. I got tons of seeds coming. I'm sure that's them, UPS. So I'm excited for that. I'm not growing any of that soon. Probably in 4 months. In about 4 months, I'll start growing that. Anyways, if you guys aren't already subscribed, go to my WeedTube channel. Go to my Odyssey channel. Go to my Library channel. Subscribe to these channels. Of course, Library and Odyssey is my backup to my YouTube. Of course, you're going to find stuff if I'm talking about the disease that shall not be named. That will be on that and on those channels. My WeedTube channel, I just uploaded something recent with my Blue Dream. Just a little grow diary. Of course, stay tuned to this channel. Plenty more content coming regarding your health, food, my gardens and stuff like that. And just understand that when you are frugal, you're going to get more than you need. Frugality is not laziness. It's just called intelligence. You're not mindlessly consuming. When people go for a haircut every fucking week, you're spending $20+ every week on a haircut. Bible says don't cut your hair.
Pop alert.
So the point is I'm getting at, guys, is that you're going to see your lifestyle totally change if you do switch to frugality. You're going to see that you're going to start realizing what's really important in life through this means of frugality. Notice that nature itself only can be successful under the guise of frugality. There is no way a lion's going to expend all of its energy taking down a giraffe when it can't take it down. It knows it can't. What is the point? Now, if they're really hungry and they have the whole pride there, they may go after that giraffe because it's going to take much less effort and the probability goes up much higher of abundance. But you need to share that kill. You understand? So if they're working towards the currency of life, which is food, and they all share that food, and that is very successful in nature, why have we been taken out of nature into concrete jungles of trusting everyone else to do exactly what we need, which is, I need you to farm my food because I'm not responsible. Because if I was responsible, I'd have all my food and I wouldn't be striving for money. Because if you're striving for money, what are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? Credit card debt. What are you getting out of it? If you had $1 million right now, you're going to be happy for a minute. But then when you realize that more money, more problems, they're taking more of your money now that you have more money, essentially no room for prosperity unless you're one of these corporate conglomerates like fucking Amazon and shit and Walmarts, and unless you're them who are in bed with government, which destroy all the competition, basically you got to rig the system to be successful. Do you understand that? Do you know why these billionaires and millionaires put out their foundations? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's tax-free. If they didn't have that foundation and they put $1 billion from their wallets to somebody else's wallets, come on, what's 50% of $1 billion? They're going to give out $500 million that goes directly into the trash, basically? No. That's why they start their foundations. So they're tax-free. See, the system today is not designed to help you. It's designed to make you enslaved. It's designed to make you not in control, not responsible, to give up your responsibility. And when you don't have money, it's okay. We'll give you a credit card so you can rack up all this debt that you're enslaved to the rest of your life. College debt, taxation, and when you hoard all your money, it becomes less and less value the more you hoard. Taxes go up on it. Inflation. Your dollar's less and less valuable by the day. It's not wise. What is wise is to live frugal, not going beyond your needs or means. What you need is all you need. See, a lot of people strive to have excess, but they hoard their excess and they're quick to throw out their old shit when it can do the same thing now. If you just, like my grandma's microwave, if you buy that motor every 10 years for $30 or something, you essentially have a brand new microwave every fucking 8 to 10 years for $30. And if you're wise, you realize they don't make them like they used to. They want you dumb enough to mindlessly keep purchasing the same shit over and over and over again. So I have these grow lights, and I'll probably end with this. I have these grow lights that are really, really cheap. It was the first grow lights I bought, and I didn't know anything about grow lights. I didn't do enough research. They're essentially blurple lights, essentially, but more of a red spectrum than purple. Blurple's blue and purple. This is a white-red spectrum, a veg bloom spectrum. Very cheap grow lights. I bought one of them for 2 plants, and I'm thinking, these 2 plants have enough. They were small plants at the time, and this was years ago. And I ended up thinking to myself, well, this isn't enough light. These plants are begging me for more light. This isn't enough. So I bought another one. So I was like, okay, now I got a light for each plant. Okay, now that those plants got bigger and they required more light, especially during the flower stage.
Pop alert.
I need more light now. So those 2 weren't enough. So then I bought another one. Isn't that retarded? Then I come to find out years later, like last year or something, that somebody else bought blurple lights from China. Like these, if you go on Amazon, let's say, or Mercari, I think it's called. There's these sites that essentially are Chinese sites, and they'll ship you whatever garbage they have from China and pretend it's as good quality as America. But there's this guy that I follow, and he said that, or he had an unboxing, and he's doing par ratings on it, and goes, man, this is the worst par rating I've ever had. And he's reading a pamphlet that came in it and said, if you are not fully satisfied, just buy another light. If this isn't good, buy another one. But essentially that's what I did, because I thought it's not enough light. I'll just buy another one. $50, $50, $50. Because I'm frugal. I'll buy the cheapest shit because I think to myself, it'll do the same shit, right? But it doesn't. And then you're going to have to keep buying more. This is how they trap you. They give you shit. And you just want more. When you open up your bag of Doritos, they have chemical components that traps you into an addictive state where you can't stop yourself because you have no responsibility. You're just a beta male. You have no responsibility. You're just a mindless consumer beta male. And you're going to keep eating Doritos because they put salt and addictive chemicals on there. But guess what? There's no nutrition in there. So what your body craves, it's not getting. But of course, Himalayan salts, they have those nutrients, right? So what I'm trying to get at here is if you are trying to become frugal, try to be virtuous in this. Start seeing that when you are not frugal, life is harder. Life is more, not only complex, but life or the modern slavery with this monetization component prevents prosperity. And it gives us hardships. So we're going to always have to work till the day we die, not till the day we retire, till the day we die, in order to keep relying on others. But if you are virtuous in frugality, you will become responsible. You don't have a choice. If you're frugal, you don't have a choice. It's built in your DNA. It will change your lifestyle. It is that of nature. If everything in nature takes its path of least resistance, whatever is the easiest to get to the goal, whether that's conscious or not conscious, whether it's physical or mental, if you are looking at this as objective as you can, you'll realize that responsibility, being an alpha male, being frugal, not taking more than you need, not hoarding what you have, and not being a slave dependent on a system that just takes from your prosperity. It's not a healthy system. Once you remove yourself from that, just like I say all the time with the Einstein quote, once your brain is stretched to a new dimension, it cannot simply revert to its old dimensions. Once you understand life more and understand objectivity, you can't just simply take it out of your brain. Now you know frugality is the right path. It's actually in all successful beings, right? See, if I was a jaguar, right, and I have minks and beavers that I can have all day long with little or no resistance from these creatures, well, why would I go after the crocodile or the caiman? Why would I go after something that if it bit me, I could get fucked, right? Why would I go after that if I already have something easy, simple, and it's going to reward me much more than the potential of all the problems you would have if you went after a crocodile, right? If you're a Bengal tiger, you can take down a fucking pig with ease, with no resistance. It's very rare that you ever see a boar push away even a cheetah, because that boar has to show that it's tougher. I mean, but in a one-on-one fight, that cheetah's going to win every time. The lion's going to win every time against a boar. These animals are going to win every single time. So why would they risk something up to death for the same conclusion? Why would you risk that? Also, why would you want to do it alone? Get the whole pride with you, right? And to take down whatever you need to take down, right? So that's how it works in nature. We work together. We're in a community. We're in our tribe. We're in our pack, whether that's family, community, etc. And unless we are frugal in that pack, we're going to take more than we need out of the pack, which is devastating to our pack. Not only that, our rate for survival decreases exponentially when you're relying on others. Because if you are out in nature and you can't keep up with your pack anymore because you got injured for whatever reason, that pack isn't going to take care of you anymore. You're only as strong as your weakest link. Right? So understand, frugality, chipping in, being responsible, is the law of nature. This video became way too long. Way too long. I just looked at it, 48 minutes. Holy shit. Way too fucking long. So I apologize for the length of this video. Stay tuned for more content. It's Opex. Got plenty more content coming. So stay tuned. It's Opex. I'm out.